This is one of the many places where the great Hispanic migration to the mainland of the United States began, the enchanted island of Puerto Rico. Welcome, everybody. I'm Geraldo Rivera. My dad, Cruz Rivera, left here in 1940, one of the first wave of Puerto Ricans heading up to New York City. Like millions of others from Puerto Rico, from the Dominican Republic, from Mexico, from Central and South America, my dad, his family, and friends were searching for the American dream. Some of them found that dream. Others, though, became trapped at the very bottom levels of American society, exiled in barrios and ghettos throughout the land, many of them experiencing the fear and frustration of confronting racism and poverty, feeling alienated and isolated from the very society they had hoped to become a part of. Too many remain invisible and impoverished to this very day. But now, as never before, Latinos are transforming the face of America. From the way our politicians campaign, to the way our children sing and dance, from the food we all eat, to the heroes we all cheer for at the ballpark. It's estimated that by the year 2005, Latinos will be the largest minority group in the country. Challenges and confrontations are arising already that no one could have anticipated in my father's generation. Still, as never before, Latinos are enjoying an unprecedented, extraordinary influence on the day-to-day life of the United States, spreading out from the major cities across the nation's interstates, down quiet country roads, into the nation's heartland. This is Nueva America.
Latinos are discovering that old American lesson, that there's power in numbers. And with as many as 5.5 million expected to vote in the coming presidential election, the candidates have discovered what could be a crucial vote.
One of the most powerful things that I've seen out there is the emergence of the Latino community as a force in American politics and in American life.
And why this cycle, Senator, is the Latino vote being courted?
It's a simple matter in many cases of demographics. The Hispanic vote will be the determining factor.
So you believe it could even be the swing?
Not a doubt in my mind.
Are you concerned at the tremendous inroads people like the Bush brothers and Senator John McCain have made in the traditionally democratic Hispanic community?
No. It's just a fact that the Republican Party has taken a whole series of positions that are fundamentally contrary to the best interests of the Hispanic community.
Is it a sincere recognition of the emerging political clout of the group, or is it a cynical attempt to manipulate Latino voters?
It's a little bit of both. And, you know, for a community like us that have been neglected for so long, a little attention goes a long way.
If America's politicians are serious about doing more than just paying lip service to the Latino voter, then they'll have to do more than just speak a couple of sentences in Spanish. They'll have to address issues that are of concern to the Hispanic community. And that quest may take them to some very unlikely places. This, for example, is the island of Vieques, located just 3 miles off the coast of Puerto Rico. For years, the United States Navy has used Vieques as a practice battlefield, but it's become a real political battleground for the Latino people.
For 58 years, the military has used, some say abused, Vieques to practice live ammo war games. And for all that time, the people of Vieques, many of whom are simple fishermen, have tried to somehow live peaceful lives. Then last April, a civilian security guard was accidentally killed by a stray Navy bomb.
After this accident occurred, things became galvanized around the Vieques issue.
Puerto Rican State Senator Rubén Barrios led the emotional campaign to stop the bombing and end all U.S. military exercises on Vieques.
Enough is enough. Vieques is a manifestation of the yearning of the Puerto Rican people not to be abused in their own land.
Describe what has happened to this island, ecologically speaking.
As you can see, this is an apparent heaven, but underneath these clear waters and underneath those lush green countryside, there are bombs everywhere.
Calle 8, 8th Street, in the very heart of Miami's extraordinary Cuban community. It's a place where one of the many negative stereotypes that have dogged Latinos for decades is daily put to rest. This false notion that we've come to this country to get onto welfare. In fact, Cubans and other Latinos have dramatically transformed this town. Because of their incredible spirit and energy, everything from commerce to culture, politics to the professions now seems to be moving to an increasingly powerful Latin beat.
Miami's Cuban-Americans have created what seems like their own independent, vibrant economy. Nationally, they enjoy the highest median income, and their buying power surpasses that of Latinos anywhere else in the country.
It's amazing. Miami, it's anywhere you go, you got to speak Spanish. You have to. I don't think, even when you apply for a job in Miami, I think they're required that you speak Spanish.
But what makes Enrique feel right at home makes others in Miami feel shunted aside or locked out.
Sometimes you have influential Hispanics who only look out for those who are bilingual. And if you can't speak language, that automatically cuts you out there. So there are different ways of eliminating people.
You better believe we're sick of it.
Ines Shera is one of South Florida's leaders of the so-called English-only movement, designed to legislate English as the only official language of government. But it would seem to be a fight that he has lost, at least for now.
I see a foreign country, not of my making and not of my choosing, and I think it's atrocious.
Hispanics in the United States are deeply patriotic. They love America. The fact that they like their children to speak two languages should be admired and should be emulated.
As dramatic as the cultural changes that have rocked the big cities, perhaps even more compelling is how the face of the nation has changed here in the Heartland. Welcome to a gloomy day in Marshalltown, Iowa, a hard-working agricultural community of about 30,000 people. Almost all of the recent arrivals here in Marshalltown have been Latino, and that migration is so radically different from past patterns that it's testing the resolve of this one American community to find another place at its table.
Good morning, Central Iowa. We welcome you to the 45th annual Kiwanis Pancake Day in the city of Marshalltown, Iowa.
At Marshalltown's annual Kiwanis Club Pancake Breakfast, the cornflake cloggers are the expected entertainment. But there's a new act in town, and for the first time, this 45-year-old gathering is acknowledging the extraordinary cultural change that has suddenly come to Marshalltown. They are Mexican-American children from one of the local middle schools. The latest pioneers to stake their claim to the Midwest. Dagoberto Zalea, a Baptist minister, brought his family from Honduras to the tough streets of L.A., then onto the safe streets of Marshalltown, all in search of a better life.
This is my home. This is my community. Yeah, people know me. I go to the store, I go to the movie theater, I go to church, wherever I go, people say, Dago, Dago. This is my community.
The new Latino residents may embrace Marshalltown, but does everyone in Marshalltown embrace them?
They don't really want to make the effort to fit in like so many of our other immigrants.
One-time city councilman and local columnist Biff Dysert is a fifth-generation resident of Marshalltown, who says his views are moderate and representative of the mainstream in town.
We have a new class of immigrants now that seems almost defiant. To drive around town with a Mexican flag on your antenna, and to make no attempt to become part of what I call a society where we're all striving together. We're all reading on the same page. We're all obeying the same laws, and that's so important. We're all speaking the same language. That's also important.
Whatever language they grew up speaking, Marshalltown's new Latino residents were drawn here by the same desires that propelled past pioneers, the chance to give their families a better life. Like those families in Marshalltown, Iowa, my father faced the uncertainties of immigrant life. And like the Murguia family of Kansas, he somehow found the vision, the strength, the courage to prevail, sending his kids to college, where we got the keys to the American dream. As Latinos move into the new millennium, it is undeniable that many of the old barriers continue disproportionately to hold back Hispanic Americans. Prejudice, language, poverty. Just look around. And these are challenges that must be addressed. But it is also undeniable that we have made incredible progress, from politics to the professions to the American popular culture. We're a hard-working piece of the American pie, and we've made it a whole lot tastier. I'm Geraldo Rivera, NBC News. Hasta luego, and thank you for watching.